Hello, everybody. Kane here today with our final episode of the Aquarium series we've been doing for the past few months. But, I know this is like a couple of days late. Basically, this finale type thing just happened right in the middle of my finals. So I'm like drowning in homework and didn't have tons of time to finish. But I have tried to get done as much as possible. Now, there are a few things I'm going to mention real quick that are not in the zoo or aquarium that we had talked about. One being dolphins. I just didn't end up finding space for them, nor did I really figure out how I was going to do it, and I didn't really want to spend an extra week just working on that. So there are no dolphins, there are no orcas, there are no humpback whales. Unfortunately, we may do those in a future project, but unfortunately not in this one, just due to lack of time and kind of the fact that I feel like this build's done already. Like, I don't feel like we could obviously spend more time and do those, but I feel like it's in a good place, and I'm kind of excited to go move on to a new project. So, anyway, I guess one of the first things to show off is I did build up the dock a little bit better, so we actually have like mooring areas, we have like all the a proper walkway over here now, and a proper entrance to the aquarium. It's looking actually really nice. I know early on I was like, oh, we're gonna do tons of landscaping. That also didn't happen, mostly just down to the fact, it's a lot of work. Like this, as you'll quickly notice, this build is absolutely enormous, and doing that much landscaping in the span of about a day wasn't really possible considering all the other projects I had to do with this world. But regardless, let's just enjoy a bit of the tour. So of course we have this, which is from like the other just super recently, but this is the, I guess, front entrance view to our seal exhibit, which is really adorable. I love the seals. They're very cute, if not incredibly derpy. But yeah, anyway, heading along here. Now, we are going to use night vision, because although I did light this up, the lighting does not work with shaders at all, really, and I feel like most people prefer I use shaders than, not use shaders, so yeah, we're just gonna use night vision to take a look around. And I'm trying to think what I want to look at. I feel like we should just go look at the, especially the Ice Age stuff. No, actually, you know what? I want to quickly switch this out. Oh, by the way, I should probably mention early on, the link to the world as well as all the mods are down in the description below. So if you want to go like play this world for some reason, you can. Not that I would necessarily recommend that, because this world is incredibly unstable and the mod pack is incredibly finicky, so it doesn't always work. Regardless, if you want to, the option's there. Anyway, of course, we have our lovely polar bear exhibit over here. I think it's just like hiding out in the little cave I built it, which isn't much of a cave, but it's something. Let's move you a little bit so we can see you a bit better. Very pretty. I think it was a good idea only to have one. It looks a bit more distinct, I guess. I don't know, words and such. Of course, we have our seal exhibit, and we have the outdoor viewing area for the underwater viewing area. Man, I can't do English today. English is a difficult language sometimes, Looking pretty good. Of course, we have our penguin exhibit, which I never see them go in the water, which is kind of sad, but they're very pretty. I think honestly these may be by far my favorite animals in the aquarium. They're just absolutely adorable. So cute, and they have really fantastic animations as well, so that's always a plus. And then of course we have the walruses, which we built last episode. That was last episode. Yeah, that was last episode. Also looking pretty good, looking very chubby, very adorable. Yeah, I really like these guys. Hello. I couldn't tell if it was, I think it was stuck on the clam, but I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on, I guess, toward the actual aquarium now. Of course, we have the first tank we ever built, our cichlid tank, which, it looks basically the same as it did all the way back then. I haven't really changed it that much, but I also didn't really feel like it needed much changing. It's just meant to be, a a simple, basic tank to bring you into the overall build. And actually, that's one thing I should mention as well. There's not a lot of noticeable changes. A lot of the work I did was exterior, just on the back of the building where I hadn't finished stuff yet, or adding in 1 or 2 small decorations around the place. So most of the exhibits are going to look pretty similar to how they already looked. But if we continue on down here, I'm not really following a specific order. I'm kind of just going in the order of when I built things. But of course, we have our bass exhibit and our salmon exhibit, which... Okay, they are in there. I was gonna say, that was kind of weird. I know there's... It looks really empty. I know I certainly put more salmon in here than it looks like I did. Kinda see them. They're a bit transparent. It's kind of weird. Like, again, the lighting and stuff is a bit odd sometimes, and it doesn't always work. Especially with this glass. So we're going to just, at least for the purposes of the showcase, switch out some of this exhibit glass, just because I know a lot of people prefer this for like the build because I guess it's like completely clear. I don't, and I don't like how this glass interacts with shaders because this is so much better. But this is like our main river exhibit. We got some bass in here. I think there's some other fish in here somewhere. It's not a tremendously interesting exhibit. It was just a way to like fill out the corner. And then of course we have this one, which I'm also going to switch out the glass on. I'm not going to do this on every build probably because I'm pretty sure there's some fairly massive builds I have that use this, and I'm not going to switch that out. But we have some lampreys here, which are, oh, by the way, that's Zawa, no, that's Zawa, the bass, and so I guess these 2 tanks are Mo creatures, and I can't remember, I think this is Better Animals Plus, which adds the lamprey, but they look really cool. They don't really do much, they just kind of sit at the top of the exhibit and just don't move, which is a bit odd, but you know what, whatever. Moving on, of course, we have one of my favorite areas. We got our Otter Exhibit over here, which again, much like the penguins, I don't think I ever see them go in the water. They're always like sitting on the ground. And of course we also have, okay, none of them despawned. That's good. We have our little goldfish pond, which I really love. I know it's like a super simple build, but I really like it. It's got a cool feel to it, and yeah, well, I think I really like it just because this is something I would build in real life. So yeah. Over here is an empty exhibit. Oh my goodness, did I not throw these guys back in? Oh, I didn't. Okay, we're gonna quickly take care of that. I think those were the heron and ducks, right? And then, oh, I had a turtle, not a tuttle, a turtle. I think it was just this turtle, right? Yeah, I forgot to restock some of these exhibits. And some people probably be like, why do you have to restock them? Mostly because, well, TBH, having tons and tons of animals on the world already creates more problems than there already were on this world. So the more animals you have, the laggier everything gets, and yeah, basically, it's just, it's easier not to have the animals in sometimes, especially when I'm doing large amounts of building. I just kind of forgot these guys needed to be placed back in because they're kind of in a weird spot in the overall build where, you know, it's like, oh, you know, they're not like right in your face. They're kind of hidden. But I do really like the heron exhibit, and I really like the duck one. I think it's kind of a cool little build. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go from here. I guess we should go to like the Amazon section. So of course in here we have our Amazon River Dolphin exhibit. Got some Arapaima in here as well, and there they are. I did have to remove all the plants on the top of the water because they were getting stuck on them, but oh, they're so pretty. I love their animations. So I guess technically we do have dolphins, just not bottlenose ones. Although I really love these guys. They're so pretty. I love them. And I really like this exhibit. It feels very, very much like the Amazon. At least I feel like it does, but you know. I might be somewhat subjective considering I built the thing. Oh, one quick thing I actually want to go back and show. I know, and I can show it later as well, I guess, but I finally put a glass roof on it, and I really like that. I mean, I'm using the same exact, it's like the black wire fence or whatever, half slabs. And those are really nice because they're really pretty and they add lots of cool texture and light with shaders. Over here we have our giant arapaima doing their giant arapaima things, you know, just chilling in their little basin, which looks pretty cool. That's a weird... Oh, I was like, that is terrifying and very epileptic. It's because the night vision's going away. That was horrifying. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving on, we have our piranhas with their green tinted glass to make them look super like murky. We have our tree frogs, of course, one of my favorites because they do weird things like this. I don't think I could look at these guys without losing my mind. Like, they are hilarious to watch. Like, look at that. They're just... Oh, they're amazing. I absolutely adore these things. I'm gonna be using more of them in future zoos. Of course, we have our capybaras over here, and they're a cute little exhibit. And the anaconda, which typically, that's about where it sits. It just likes to sit at the very back of the enclosure there and do nothing. Which, you know what, fair enough. That's a very snake thing to do, I think. Over here, we have our Asian arowana, looking very pretty. I'm pretty sure there's another one in here. Yeah, right back there. Okay. That's not a terribly complicated exhibit, is it? I mean, it's basic, but you know what, it works. We're gonna loop back around real quick. But yeah, over here we have our dwarf crocodiles, which, I mean, you guys obviously already know this. This is like my favorite exhibit overall. Although, I do really love some of the new ones you built, but okay, for the amphibious exhibits, this is my favorite. Like, it's, I don't know, there's just something about it that works really well. Oh yeah, there's a lot of changes over here, but we'll get to those. Anyway, over into the food court, not much has changed here. We still have our Japanese giant salamanders over here. Their exhibit hasn't changed any. It's not that great exhibit, but you know what, it works. And I'm now thinking, where do I want to go from here? Because we can either go, well, we should probably just go upstairs, yeah, because that's kind of where some new stuff is, which is, well, this. So you guys don't remember, episodes ago, basically, we had this weird little enclosure here, and I didn't know what to do with it. I finally figured it out. We have got a gharial in here, because it's a really cool little crocodilian. And, I don't know, I felt like it would fit here quite well. We've got a cool little viewing area for it, so yeah. Anyway, heading up here, we're gonna go this way first, I guess. Of course, we have the above ground viewing area for the river dolphins. And of course, the one time I decided to go here for like a world tour, they just don't show up. They're always jumping, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna look really cool. And then they're just like, nah, we're good, fam. All right, where are they? Are they just gone? What? How? How, they were literally just here. That is bizarre. Okay, that is, cause like, y'all know, like, y'all saw, like, they were here. I don't know what happened to them. That's really, really weird. But there we go, river dolphins. Looking pretty good. There we go, that's like what I want to see. Anyway, moving on, we have, of course, our marine iguanas, the version of the salamander exhibit I wish I'd made. This is, I really like this one. And it's super simple, but I think it works really well. We got our coconut crabs down here. Moving along, we have, of course, the Nautilus enclosure. Pretty simple. And I think this is Better Animals Plus or like Aquatic Odyssey or something. It's not Fossils in Archaeology, even though they look very similar. And then, of course, up here we have our top view of the otter enclosure. And where you can actually see the otters because, you know, they hang out up here instead of down there. And I think I have the box turtles from Zawa in here as well. But yeah, maybe it's a Zawa add-on. I don't really remember at this point. It's been a fair amount of time since I put this pack together. And I'm not looking forward to having to find the links for all the mods again because that's gonna take a while. Oh, got a little break in the roof. Oh, yeah, I know why. But anyway. Over here, we should have our oarfish. Yep, there it is. They don't swim. They basically just sit on the ground, and that's about it. They're kind of weird, but I like them. I mean, they're the only oarfish I found for Minecraft, so, you know, that means fair enough. And then over here, how did these guys disappear? Because I name tagged them all, so they shouldn't have despawned. I like how this world tour is very quickly just becoming how much can go wrong, how quickly, you know? Like, that's just the experience of this. So this is the sail, if I can spell, the sailfish and the swordfish. Which I'll try to see if I can keep them from despawning in the future, but I mean, if I've used name tags and even that doesn't work, I'm not really sure what can keep them from despawning, which is unfortunate. But there we go, there's their exhibit. They look pretty cool, and I think this is a pretty awesome exhibit for them. It's pretty big, comparative to most of the tanks in the build. But yeah, anyway, let's keep going, and on to some of the newer stuff I have worked on. Well, actually, I guess we're gonna head back towards the saltwater tanks. Yeah. So we'll come back over here in a minute just to show off this. But I basically reworked a lot of stuff over there, and I think it turned out pretty well. Anyway, moving along, we have, of course, our small saltwater tanks. We have 2 tropical fish tanks or pillar tanks, which I really love. These things look really cool. We have our touch pool with like the shells and sand dollars. We got our stingray pool over here, looking pretty good. And of course, we have some jellyfish, also looking really cool. And oh yeah, we do have one more tank over here. Our leafy sea dragon and yeah, our leafy sea dragon tank. And weedy sea dragon, that's what they're called, the darker ones. But yeah, they look really, really cool. Absolutely love them. I guess we should go down here next. And this is our deep sea area. Oh, this only connects up to the sharks though, so whatever. Anyway, this is our deep sea area, which has like some octopi I put down here. They actually look super cool. I thought they were skulls for a second. We got some squids, we got some various anglerfish, and we got some jellyfish. But because this is a deep sea area, I do want to take night vision off for a second. I know people will probably be like, oh, I can't see anything. And that's kind of the point. Like, some of the animals are kind of bioluminescent, particularly those anglerfish. And I really love that. Like, this exhibit just has such an eerie vibe to it, and I adore that immensely. I don't know. I think it's the coolest and most atmospheric exhibit I've ever built. And I really just absolutely love that. Plus, we got a giant whale skeleton in it, which is really cool. And moving along through this hallway here, we got the shark tunnel there. We'll go look at that in a minute. But coming along here, of course, we have our big saltwater tanks. We got our octopi in here, which we don't have the big one anymore. We got a couple of smaller octopus. We got our sea turtle tank over here, which got a couple. We got some Zawa ones. We got some aquatic odyssey ones. We got a couple of tropical fish. Pretty cool little build. We got our manta ray and like nurse shark and zebra shark exhibit, which is another favorite of mine. I think this one looks really cool. Mostly just for the decorations. I love the decorations in this one. I think it turned out really, really well. Moving on, of course, we have our moray eel exhibit. And these guys are the most annoying because their model is fantastic. Their animations are great, but they always hide in the rocks, which, I mean, makes sense. You know, that's what the moray eels do in real life, but it's kind of annoying because you never get to see them. But of course, moving on to probably our biggest, most impressive, and probably coolest tank, the shark tank, which you'll notice does have a rather different looking shark in there. And also I got rid of the Mo creatures ones because they didn't look very cool. But we got a bunch of Zawa, what are these? I actually want to make sure I get the right name for them. Tiger sharks. Okay, I was gonna say it was tiger, but yeah, we got a bunch of tiger sharks here, and I did spawn in a great white, mostly just because I was like, I do kind of want to put one in. I know in real life you can't keep them in aquariums, and this would not be a big enough tank and whatever, but I don't know, I felt like it looked cool, and I wanted to put at least one in. Also, there's now a roof on this thing, and I finished that, and maybe we'll show off all that. I don't know how much like exterior stuff I really want to show. It's not really that interesting, and I feel like a world tour should be more focused on like, you know, the cool stuff, namely like exhibits and whatnot. But yeah, that's that, and we'll head back here actually. I know I did this tour kind of in a weird pattern, but I mean, it's kind of like how this thing was built. Like, this thing could have used much better planning overall. But of course, we have our little shark tunnel and the shark dome, which is a really cool name for what this is. Which basically just takes you into the middle of the exhibit, so you can see them like swimming right over you and like right next to you and stuff. And I just love this, and I love all the little Atlantean ruins we did. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, and you can like wave to people over there, be like, "Hi, I'm getting eaten by the sharks. It's spooky," you know, whatnot. But anyway, there is one last brand new addition to the park. And that is, if we head right down here, dun 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 dun, the birds, because people had asked a lot for birds, and I had said we were gonna do some, and I finally got it done. It's not like a super complicated aviary or anything, and I know I was thinking of doing this as a gift shop, but it's so far from the other paths, it didn't make sense. So yeah, we got some toucans, I think we got some cockatoos, and some parrots, and macaws, and yeah. Just a cute little aviary type thing. I really like it a lot. And then basically we just have a new hallway around here and some redo on the windows. And I think those actually look much nicer than they used to. But other than that, I don't think anything else has changed. And I think that's basically the end of the tour. So, you know, you come back through here, through the gift shop, and you're basically done visiting the aquarium. So yeah, I guess I can show off like a couple of the exterior things. Basically, that's the outside of the windows there and the aviary. It has got doors to it. We put some more palm trees around the whole thing. And yeah, here's the new shark tank roof. And mostly because people were somewhat bothering me about it, I did go around and finish the whole exterior. So it's all fully enclosed. Everything's the way it should be. And it's finished, which is really cool. I'm very happy to say that. But yeah, it's been a fun build, I have to say. Considering I don't think I've ever really seen, I guess pretty much every episode, like I don't really think I've seen too many people do a build like this. So this was a lot of fun just to try it out and see how it went and try and do all these different and cool builds. I've had an absolute blast with this series. This is probably one of my crowning achievements for things I've built. Of course, there's always improvements that can be made, and if you guys want to download the world and make some improvements of your own, feel free to do that. But yeah, I'm incredibly happy with this build. I think we've done a fantastic job. And yeah, I'm very excited to move on to another zoo though. Even though I love this thing, we have reached the end of it, and I'm like, I don't really want to work on it anymore. So yeah, we'll be moving on to a new... Oh, that looks so cool. I love the sharks in this mod. They're just so well done. But yeah, anyway, we'll be moving on to a new zoo series. Haven't fully decided what it's going to be. It probably won't start till next week, just so I have a bit more time to plan and maybe get some feedback from you guys. You know, if you want, leave a comment on what you want to see for the next zoo, or what your favorite tank is. Like, what's your favorite aquarium bit we've done? Exhibit, whatever, you know? Yeah, let me know what you guys think. But with all that being said, I think that's really all we have for today. So it's been an absolute blast doing this series, guys. I hope you guys have all really enjoyed it. Like I said, I've had an immensely good time doing this, and I'm very much looking forward to doing more series like this in the near future. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.